Hi guys, what's up? What's down? What's sideways? James here for chronic fatigue syndrome, my friend, my enemy, my constant companion. Um, I've spoken before how sometimes people with chronic fatigue syndrome kind of forget or don't remember um, that we still will go through things that a normal person will go through. Our bodies still require certain things that a normal person's body requires. And our brain still has certain responses that a normal person will have. And I've talked about this for other areas, but what I wanted to share today was not a lot of people know this, but it can come across as a self-sabotaging aspect to our brain. It's not that the brain is self-sabotaging you, it's that your brain protects you. And so it would rather deal with what it knows than something new. Okay? And you see this all the time when you come to either change a habit, to learn a new skill, when you change your eating plan, when you change your movement plan, something like that, when logically you know that if you follow this course of action, you will reach a desired outcome that is beneficial for you. And then you start off all gung-ho and yeah, and then somewhere around here, or it could be almost to the very end, you start waning, you start dropping off, and then you just stop. And logically, it shouldn't make sense. If I know that I pursue this course of action, I will reach a desired outcome that benefits my life. Why, therefore, would I stop? It doesn't make sense. So what your brain does is it likes what it knows, but it doesn't know right or wrong, good or bad. It just knows what it knows. So right now, it knows that you don't move much, that you eat XYZ food, and you have a certain way that you like to think. But logically, you might go, well, I want to change my eating plan, I want to move more, and how I'm thinking isn't really beneficial. I always feel really sad and down, or angry, or something like that. It's I'm going to change this. And it's yes! Identifying, first step, awesome, plan of action, let's move it in. Now, you'll start and then just drop off and so on, and it doesn't make sense. So what happens is your brain will make things uncomfortable. Your brain will throw things up at you to try and dissuade you from this new thing, because it doesn't know where you're taking it. It only knows where you are right now. And that doesn't matter if that means that you're waking up every morning and trying to vomit a non-existent meal or something like that. It doesn't matter if you're in an abusive relationship. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's personal, relationship, health. It doesn't matter. Your brain knows what you know. Here, it doesn't know where you're trying to take it, which is why you have people who are scared of success. It's the unknown, and the unknown is scarier than where they currently are. Logically, it shouldn't. But logic has a very little to do here. So your brain will stop you by making it uncomfortable for you, by throwing up obstacles. If you don't like to go to work, maybe you will feel sick, or maybe you'll feel extra tired, or you get to work and you feel lethargic. Maybe you're trying to do a new movement plan and you just don't feel well, you feel uncomfortable, you feel ill, you feel tired, you once again lethargic. All those kind of different things. Now, as long as the activity that you're doing isn't harmful to you, and it's only discomfort that may be caused, you can just keep pushing right through. And the thing there is there is an aspect where you want to hey brain, because we do this in stretching as well. Hey brain, it's okay, I do actually want to be here, this is where I want to go. And you talk to yourself. You train your brain that this new stuff is okay. We don't have to freak out. And what happens if you keep doing that? Your brain goes, oh, I'm sending all these warning signals and they're not panicking or they're not stopping, so I don't need the warning signals so much anymore. And then it drops off, and then you find you'll be in this new place where like, oh, I don't feel lethargic, tired, or like your brain will stop. Your brain will stop sending you these warning signals, which is basically what it's doing. Like, warning, warning, you're going somewhere new. So it'll stop sending you these warning signals, and you'll go to like the next step, which will be you're like, oh, I feel so much better. Like, I have more energy. I'm gaining weight, or managing my weight. I'm doing that new activity. I'm learning that new skill. I'm having a better time at work. I've moved out of that relationship. I'm into a better relationship. So like, you move into the better place that you're after. It might not be like the final goal, but you'll be into a new place, and then you might cycle through this X number of times until you reach your goal. But it's just letting your brain know that you are deliberately doing this and that you don't want to respond to those warning signals. So if you felt lethargic and you ignore it and you keep going, you'd most probably find that your energy levels will return. You will find that scared feeling, that fear kind of dissipate, because it's like the brain's like, well, I'm saying we should be scared, but the response I'm getting back from the thinking person is that we don't have to be scared, so let's stop being scared. I'll stop sending off those little warning signals. Okay? This is a very, very, very sky view of what actually goes on. But I didn't want to go into too much other than what I'm doing. So tying it back into chronic fatigue syndrome and normal people is that this is something that every human being experiences in one form or another. Now, when you have chronic fatigue syndrome, you already have a whole bunch of signals that, we're already tired, we're already in pain, we're already not feeling well. And then on top of that, your brain can send you those warning signals, which get translated into very similar feeling signals. So if a normal person would feel lethargic, well, chronic fatigue syndrome, I might feel lethargic on top of my chronic fatigue syndrome, but then I might mistake it that it's the chronic fatigue aspect and not this thing that my brain does. And that's really important for you to learn, because you can mistake normal signals, which I've shared before. You can mistake normal signals that every human body has for chronic fatigue syndrome or fibromyalgia syndrome. So there are certain things where you can push through. Like, people's like, oh, you got CFS, don't push. And like, no, don't listen to that. Why do you want to stay as you are now? What do you like about how it is now? Why would you want to stay like that? Proviso, if you like staying like that, then that's fine. Yeah, won't ever be me. This is not my final form. So the challenge lies in for you not to give up and go, oh, it's my chronic fatigue syndrome, I should stop. Like, oh, this is painful. Oh, my fibromyalgia is flaring up. Oh, I should stop. It's like, no, it's just your body throwing up stuff. Like, you'll get ghost pains. By ghost pains, I mean, like, they'll feel really real. But, like, if you keep going, they'll go away. It wasn't an actual structural thing that was an issue, or it wasn't nerve pain or something like that. But it's your brain trying to stop you. And so it'll try and send you warning signals in such a way that hopefully you will understand it to mean stop. And if you go like, hey, it's okay, this activity is okay, I'm moving through it. You can actually, like, when you're doing a stretching class, and I share this with people, you can actually watch people gain an extra X number of centimeters on their stretch just by having this conversation with themselves out loud. It's because, like, with stretching, uh, one of the reasons why you might not be as flexible. Like if I watch you and go like, oh, you've actually got a few more centimeters. Like, no, I don't, James. Like, you do. It's like, no, I don't, James. What happens is that your muscles tense to protect you, because that's how we protect our frame. Our muscles tense to like keep us together. So once you can relax that, which comes from your brain, then you're sort of like this ball, and you relax and it becomes this. There's your extra couple of centimeters. So it's the same thing. So if you've got chronic fatigue syndrome, you need to learn that there are signals and there are feelings that are the same as chronic fatigue syndrome that are natural, normal, and okay, that everyone gets them. It's your brain trying to stop you from doing that new thing. And you have to move through that, and they will stop. Okay? I'm not talking about instant. It might not be like in 30 seconds. It might be days, weeks, months, years. Who knows? I don't know you. We're all different. Okay, so that is a huge challenge to relearn signals. So it's a huge challenge to identify, like for me, what's hunger and what's sick, because they, in my stomach, they can feel quite similar. What's sick and what's pain, that kind of thing. Like, I might not always know how much pain I'm in until I start feeling sick. And like, why am I feeling this particular kind of sick? I'm like, why? I only feel sick when I'm like X number of amount of pain, and I have Panadol, and it drops down enough for me to to actually feel like, oh my goodness. Okay, so the challenge is, one, understand that we all still have the normal things to deal with, and two, to not use the excuse of chronic fatigue syndrome for stopping things. Okay, yes, we have to be mindful of our capabilities and our limitations, but that doesn't mean you just give up and like, oh, I'm getting tired, I should stop, it's my chronic fatigue syndrome kicking in. It might not be. It's just that it will stack and make it feel worse. So just remove it from the stack. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to fire away. Like, share, subscribe, hit the little notification button, and thank you very much for letting me share with you day 52 of chronic fatigue syndrome, my friend, my enemy, my constant companion.